What's up? Today I'm going to be reading How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. So, let's get into this. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. For Teddy Owens. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early, they'd rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise, 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 noise. Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast and they'd feast and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked the least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing and they'd sing and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 33 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? And then he had an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshack sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, giddy up, and the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fists. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present, pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns, and plums. And he stuffed them in bags, and the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk into the icebox. He took the Who's feast, he took the Who pudding, he took the roast beef. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. And then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who is not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a line, he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child. And he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire, and the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who mouses. It was 1/4 dawn, and all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze. When he packed up his sled, he packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Whoos. He was grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They are just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Whoos down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why was this sound so merry? It couldn't be so, but it was. Merry, very. He stared down at the Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes, then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours. Still his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something that he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day, and the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. That was How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Our next book is The Cat in the Hat, also by Dr. Seuss. This is super challenging books, as you can tell, expert level. So, yeah, let's get it. I sat there with Sally, we sat there we two, and I said, how I wish we had something to do, too wet to go out and too cold to play ball. So we sat in the house, we did nothing at all. So all we could do was to sit, and we did not like it, not one little bit. Bump! And then something went bump. How that bump made us jump! We looked and we saw him step in on the mat. We looked and we saw him, the cat in the hat. And he said to us, why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun. That is funny. I know some good games we could play, said the cat. I know some new tricks, said the cat in the hat. A lot of good tricks. I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do. Then Sally and I did not know what to say. Our mother was out of the house for the day. But our fish said, no. Make that cat go away. Tell that cat in the hat you do not want to play. He should not be here. He should not be about. He should not be here when your mother is out. Now, have no fear, said the cat. My tricks are not that bad, said the cat in the hat. Why, we can have lots of good fun, if you wish, with a game that I call Up with a Fish. Put me down, said the fish. This is no fun at all. Put me down, says the fish. I do not wish to fall. Have no fear, said the cat. I will not let you fall. I will hold you up high as I stand on a ball, with a book on one hand and a cup on my hat. But that is not all I can do, said the cat. Look at me now, said the cat, with a cup and a cake on the top of my hat. I can hold up 2 books, I can hold up the fish, and a little toy ship, and some milk on a dish, and look, I can hop up and down on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. Look at me, look at me, look at me now. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I can hold up the cup and the milk and the cake. I can hold up these books and the fish on a rake. I can hold the toy ship and a little toy man, and look, with my tail I can hold a red fan. I can fan with the fan as I hop on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. That is not what the cat said. Then he fell on his head. He came down with a bump from up there on the ball, and some too. He fell into a pot. He said, "Do I like this? Oh no, I do not. This is not a good game," said our fish as he lit. "No, I do not like it, not one little bit." "Now look what you did," said the fish to the cat. "Now look at this house, look at this, look at that. You sank our toy ship, sank it deep in the cake. You shook up our house, and you bent our new rake. You should not be here when our mother is not. You get out of this house," said the fish in the pot. "But I like to be here, oh I like it a lot," said the cat in the hat. To the fish in the pot, "I will not go away, I do not wish to go." "And so," said the cat in the hat, so, I will show you another good game that I know." And then he ran out, and then fast as a fox, the cat in the hat came back in with a box. A big red wood box. It was shut with a hook. "Now look at this trick," said the cat. "Take a look." Then he got up on top with the tip of his hat. "I call this game Fun in a Box," said the cat. "In this box are 2 things I will show to you now. You will like these 2 things," said the cat with a bow. "I'll pick up the book, you will see something new. 2 things, and I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. These things will not bite you, they want to have fun." Then out of the box came Thing 1 and Thing 2, and they ran to us fast. They said, "How do you do? Would you like to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2? And Sally and I did not know what to do, so we had to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2. We shook their 2 hands, but our fish said, "No, no. Those things should not be in this house. Make them go. They should not be here when your mother is not. Put them out, said the fish in the pot. "Have no fear, little fish," said the cat in the hat. "These things are good things," and he gave them a pat. "They are tame, oh so tame. They have come here to play. They will give you some fun on this wet, wet, wet day." "Now here is a game that they like," said the cat. "They like to fly kites," said the cat in the hat. "No, not in the house," said the fish in the pot. "They should not fly kites in a house. They should not. Oh, the things they will bump, oh, the things they will hit. Oh, I do not like it, not one little bit." Then Sally and I saw them run down the hall. We saw those 2 things bump their kites on the wall. Bump, thump, thump, bump, down the wall in the hall. Thing 2 and Thing 1, they ran up, they ran down. On the string of one kite we saw Mother's new gown. Her gown with the dots that are pink, white, and red. Then we saw one kite bump on the head of her bed. Then those things ran about with big jumps and kicks, and with hops and big thumps, and all kinds of bad tricks. And I said, "I do not like the way that they play. If Mother could see this, oh, what would she say?" Then our fish said, "Look, look!" And our fish shook with fear. "Your mother is on her way home, do you hear? Oh, what will she do to us? What will she say? Oh, she will not like it to find us this way. So do something fast," said the fish. "Do you hear? I saw her, your mother is near. So as fast as you can, think of something to do. You'll have to get rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2. So as fast as I could, I went after my net, and I said, "With my net, I can get them, I bet. I bet with my net, I can get those things yet." Then I let down my net, it came down with a plop, and I had them at last. Those 2 things had to stop. Then I said to the cat, "Now you do as I say, you pack up those things and you take them away." "Oh dear," said the cat, "you did not like our game. Oh dear, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame." Then he shut up the things in the box with the hook, and the cat went away with a sad kind of look. "That is good," said the fish. "She has gone away, yes, but your mother will come. She will find this big mess, And this mess is so big and so deep and so tall we cannot pick it up. There's no way at all. And then, who was back in the house? Why, the cat. Have no fear of this mess, said the cat in the hat. I always pick up all my playthings, and so I will show you another good trick that I know. Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake and the rake and the gown and the milk and the strings and the books and the dish and the pan and the cup and the ship and the fish, and he put them away. Then he said, that is that, and then he was gone with the tip of his hat. Then our mother came in, and she said to us two, did you have any fun? Tell me, what did you do? And Sally and I did not know what to say. Should we tell her the things that went on there that day? Should we tell her about it? Now what should we do? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you? That is The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. And I got one more book I want to read you guys. There's a Walk It in My Pocket, also by Dr. Seuss. So, collector's edition, pretty cool. Alright, let's get it. Did you ever have the feeling there's a wasket in your basket? Or a Negro in your bureau? Or a woosit in your closet? Sometimes I feel quite certain there's a jertin in the curtain. Sometimes I have the feeling there's a Zock behind the clock. And that Zelf up on that shelf, I have talked to him myself. That's the kind of house I live in. There's a nink in the sink and a zamp in the lamp, and they're rather nice, I think. Some of them are very friendly, like the yacht in the pot, but the yottle in the bottle. Some are friendly, some are not. I like the Zabel on the table and the Gare under the chair, but that Bofa on the sofa, well, I wish he wasn't there. All those nut boards and the cupboards, they're good fun to have about, but that noofbrush on my toothbrush, him, I could do without. The only one I'm really scared of is that Vug under the rug. And that Quimmy up the chimney, I don't like him, not at all. And it makes me sort of nervous when the Zal scoots down the hall. But the Yeps on the steps, they're great fun to have around, and so are many, many other friends that I have found. Like the Teller and the Neller and the Geller and the Deller and the Beller and the Weller and the Zeller in the cellar. And the Geeling on the ceiling and the Zower in my shower. And the Zillow on my pillow, I don't care if you believe it, that's the kind of house I live in, and I hope we never leave it. A Findo in my window, and a Nook Gase in my bookcase. That's it. So, that's, there's a Walk It in My Pocket. So, by Dr. Seuss. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Those were the 3 books read to you guys. Hope you guys have a good day.